3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Three Hit Combo Podcast. My name is Matt. I'm here with Skyler.
Hey.
Yo.
Yeah, it's just us.
Tam appears to be in another state, and Andy has a whole host of issues.
Oh, yeah. He sent a small novel and a picture. It was great. Yeah. I just hope his asshole isn't that inflamed. I hope it's gone down.
Well, he has the doctor's appointment tomorrow, so we'll see if anything new happens with his asshole.
Yeah. I hear it's getting just removed. Just like totally. He's going to be like a Ken doll back there, that will be nice.
Huh.
Aerodynamic.
Yeah. Is he going to see the plastic surgeon? I mean, you got to think that confidence-wise, he's going to want something.
Yeah. I hope we see Andy with just, a perfect, just made by science butt. Where it's absolutely just sculpted.
I wonder how much insurance will pay.
Yeah.
If it's a medical necessity.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes with like he'll probably have to pay for the extra add-ons, the DLC of the butt, power windows and all of that.
Right.
Tax, title licensing. Yeah. But yeah, I hope we see him next week for just a great sit. Just a nice old keister.
Yeah, I might have to get one of those pillows for him to sit on.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, I think that when he sits down, it's going to make a nice just a nice clown nose.
Oops, sorry, I need to oil my ass.
Yeah,
it's squeaky.
Yeah.
So, how was your week?
It was all right. It was just a lot of work. But I did download the new PS4 games that dropped this month. There was Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, which was pretty solid to get for free, and then Sonic Mania. So I got to explain to my wife why the original Sonic games are not very two-player friendly, because she wanted to play with me, and then we played, and I'm like, yeah, I'm barely even playing.
Yeah, they're not two-player friendly. I have Sonic Mania on PC, and it's very good.
Yeah, I think I might hammer through it, but she wanted to give it a shot as Tails accompaniment, and yeah, man, it's real rough because I mean I barely know where I'm going. I'm kind of just shot around the screen with springs and whatnot. I hit an enemy, and okay, here you come from the top of the screen. There you go. Welcome back.
So it's been a couple weeks, but you told me you ran into my racist cousin.
I did, yeah. Haven't seen him since, just because I haven't worked at that branch or anything. But I ran to his wife, which I guess would also be your. I don't know how that works, but yeah, she seen Peaches and Cream, and then he rolled in and said some kind of problematic things, and it was very interesting to deal with him, and I was as courteous as I was required to be, but yeah, nice quick exchange.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. I have him blocked on Facebook.
Yeah, he's doesn't seem like the nicest individual. No, I don't think I'd pal around with him. If I saw him in public, I probably wouldn't be like, oh hey, yeah, I remember you. I was working, yeah. Which I've done before. Like I've seen people and like, hey, you're from the bank, right? I'm like, yeah, I work over there, and we'll have a short conversation, which is super weird for me because it's like, well, how's the loan payments? You made it this month, so I mean, just gearing up for next month, huh? Like, it's always just a weird interaction because I don't know, because I just know them in that one facet, just like their financials. But
ooh, you're buying that, huh? Ooh, I saw your available balance.
Ooh, you got that overdraft protection? I know you don't. Yeah.
Oh, God. Last week, I helped a friend of my dad's move, and my dad contacted me. I gotta fix up this microphone. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry
I
if
didn't
you
give
heard
you
a
the
little
right
rustling.
settings.
No, I had it set up and then it just started drooping like way later than it usually starts drooping.
You got the sad mic.
Yeah. So my dad was out of town. He sent me a text. He's like, "Hey, blah blah blah, needs help moving a couple boxes for maybe 2-3 hours." I was like, "All right, fine. I'll go
Yeah.
over there and help." He was going to pay me for my time anyway. Ended up being about a 9-hour journey.
Nice.
Ended up gutting the whole house.
Oh my gosh.
This dude owns antiques and shit, and so he's just got like all these old oak things. He had like a turn of the century Victrola.
Oh my gosh.
And he had like all this fine art and stuff like that, and everything was fucking heavy or expensive.
Wow.
And then we had to take it all to Missouri Valley, Iowa, and unload it.
Yikes. Yeah, that's a nice trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I think the only interesting thing of note that happened to me this week though was I got pulled over yesterday by a cop. Yeah, like so I was
I
driving.
hope by a cop.
Yeah. No, I got pulled over by some random dude, and he just wanted to ask for directions. No, this. So I'm driving down the street. This cop turns a corner, and then I'm taking the next street anyway, and I just turn away from him, which is nice. I always like being out of the view of police officers.
Yeah.
It's never a situation where I'm like, oh, good, a police officer's here. It's always like, fuck, oh god, I need to change my oil. Can they pull me over for that? Oh no. But yeah, so I get pulled over in the neighborhood street that I had turned down. He had his lights on, bumped his siren, boop, boop, and I, pulled over. And he was sitting behind me with his lights on for a little bit. And we were there for a good 2 or 3 minutes, and then he just drives off. And I was, I don't know, maybe he had a pie that he needed to tend to, or prior commitments. Maybe he was late to a birthday party, or maybe a real crime was happening. I don't know what was I don't know what I did to warrant it. I wasn't speeding at signal turns.
I would like to think that there was your make and model was out for an alert, and they were like, "Oh yeah, be on the lookout for that car."
That's what Erica said.
So,
Maybe they just ran the plates. Oh no, this isn't it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He pulls you over. He's like, "I fucking got him." And he runs the plates. And he goes, "Ah, shit!" Just drives off.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that would just take less than 60 seconds, but we were sitting there for a good 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, ah, and I just sat there. I didn't get my wallet out or anything yet. Because you make movements before they pull up, and they think maybe you pulled out something or put something hid something away.
Yeah.
So I just sat there listening to a podcast, and I was like, well, okay, okay, bye.
What podcast?
I was listening to.
Are you fucking cheating on us?
No, I was listening to our podcast. I love hearing the sound of my own voice. But yeah, it was just such a strange interaction. I was like, is he allowed to do that? Can he just pull people over, waste their time, and then bolt?
He's got to meet quota for the month.
Yeah.
Of time waste.
Time wasted. Yeah, definitely. It was such a strange, that's never happened to me before. Another time I've been pulled over, it was because I was driving away from my apartment complex, which is near a bunch of bars. Mm-hmm. And, I was fiddling with my phone so I could get the radio going, because I used my phone to hook up to a radio receiver and all that. And I guess I had maybe swerved a little bit. I got pulled over, and the lady thought that I had been drinking. And, she's like, "Have you been drinking?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just running to the grocery store. I live right over there." And then, through our conversation, she probably surmised that I was stone cold sober, hadn't had anything to drink at all that day.
Yeah.
I was very thirsty. But yeah, she was just like, "All right, yeah, just coming away from that area, you always got to be mindful of people trying to drive home drunk."
Drive home drunk, yeah, for sure.
At least she had the decency to get out of the car and explain it to me. Jesus.
I've been pulled over twice. The first time I was 16. Mm-hmm. I'd been driving for 6 months.
Yeah.
And I got pulled over for speeding. I was doing 7 over on Dodge. Yeah. Yeah, so I had to go to... So the ticket was $80.
Oh, no.
The stop class was $78. But I was 16, so I'm like, well, I don't know what the future holds because you can only have so many strikes before you get like your full-fledged, you're an adult now license at like 18.
Yeah.
So I took the stop class, saved myself those $2 for an 8-hour class, and then I never got another strike. The other time I was pulled over, though, we were driving to IHOP.
Oh, yeah?
And this is the Panera days. I was probably about 18 by then. Cop pulls up behind me and turns on his lights. I pull over like into a residential street, and he comes up and he does like the sobriety test thing with the pen, follow this with your eyes without moving your head or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, where are you coming from? I was like, well, my friends and I were swimming, and we're going to IHOP. And he also surmised that I was not drunk. And he's like, yeah, you got a broken taillight, which I did.
Oh, okay.
The taillight wasn't out, just
you had like white broken. Showing, white light.
Yeah. But he didn't give me a ticket or anything like that. And then I get to IHOP, and I was like, our friend Tom, I was like, Tom, why do I have a call from you? And he's like, I was going to tell you a cop was behind you. I was like, what was I going to do with that information?
All right, got to lose him. Throw the banana peels.
Yeah. I'm not going to bust out the window and start firing at him or anything. Yeah. Like, what was I going to do?
You'll never take me alive, cop, huh? Yeah. I've had some pretty interesting interactions with police officers. Like, so working at some of the financial institutions that I work at, because I work at all the different branches, like, the cops that I meet there are, like, super nice, very friendly, and I have conversations with them and stuff, and I feel like I know them, fairly personally.
Yeah.
To this date, I still can't see a police officer without just, like, going through my list of actions that will establish an alibi for whatever the fuck I need to, give them. I can't rehearsing in my head like, I haven't had anything to drink, officer. Okay, that was a good take. All right, let's just run that one.
Last night I was playing Sonic Mania from 10 p.m. to 12:01 a.m.
Then I went to bed, and I got a full 8 hours, and I got up, and it was a night, had a very productive Saturday. Like, I'm ready to, like, plead my case in the court just because I see a police officer. And, like, they might not even be going the same way as me. It's just always like, oh, shit, did he see me?
You saw your reflection? That fucking guy.
I'm on him. And then hops the median. Yeah, it's always something that I'm very, very conscious of.
I used to work at a place that had people could rent mailboxes. Mm-hmm. And we can't give out any information without a warrant. So a cop walks in one time and he goes, hey, does so-and-so have a mailbox here? And I hated that fucking guy.
Oh, yeah.
He was a douchebag.
Yeah.
And so I go, officer, I can't give you any information without a warrant, but I think that's enough information to answer your question.
Yeah. There you go.
He just smiled and he's like, okay. He left and was like, oh, this guy gets fucking arrested.
Get a little wink and a nod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wink. I even said wink.
Yeah. Wink, wink. Hey, wink. Yeah.
He's like, you don't need to do that. I get what you're doing. I was like,
wink, wink.
I'm wink. Sure.
I can't actually wink, so I have to verbally wink. Wink.
Yeah, my eyes don't close.
I'm like a lizard. I have to lick them and moisturize them. But yeah, I mean, other than that, my week was fairly uneventful. Been playing a lot of Borderlands. You should hop on.
I don't really like Borderlands.
Yeah,
I played it kind of when it was first coming out, and I was just like,
yeah,
it's not my thing.
I'm playing the pre-sequel because that was in the Handsome edition. It's that one, and then Borderlands 2. And I really feel like the entire thing is just an advertisement for Borderlands 3 that's coming out.
Yeah,
and like because like right when you load up the game, regardless of which game you pick. It has a pop-up of which Borderlands you'd like to pre-order.
Oh, yeah.
You can get the standard, the deluxe, and it has like all the things associated with that, the extra skins and weapons and whatnot. And then you back out of that, and you're on the main menu where it's like a weird landscape circling your character, and then there's this huge banner ad at the very top for Borderlands 3 to pre-order now.
Oh, geez.
And I get it, sure. But I'll probably pre-order it if I want to. I didn't download this game to get a different game. This wasn't like my backdoor way of getting that. But
I I'm playing a few games now, and I feel obligated to be like, okay, I got to get a little bit of this one in, and then a little bit of that one in, because I've been playing some Minecraft with some friends.
Yeah.
And after the Village and Pillage update, there's a whole shitload of new things.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been building a lot, and doing just about everything. But I feel obligated to play with them. Like, oh, I got to get some of this in. And then my other friends, we're playing Ark, and funny story with that. Our friend Aria, she was going to build an air conditioner.
Oh, yeah.
In Ark, and she needed metal for it. And then me and another friend are like running around with swords, and she was like, "Did you guys use the metal?" We're like, no. So we've got these brand new swords.
No. That was some other. These are made out of wood, painted wood. These are pool noodles. You must have like a skin issue. It's an error in the game.
So I've been playing that, and then before really both those things, I was getting back into Mass Effect, and I love Mass Effect so much that I just gotta keep punching through.
Yeah. And
I'm playing with all the DLC this time.
Oh yeah.
Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh my god. in Mass Effect 1, one of the DLCs is a bunch of like simulation missions.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that you have to beat all his scores. So I'm doing a survival mission. And I forgot to check the scoreboard. And I don't know what I have to beat. So while I'm doing this, I'm also listening to a baseball game because it's College World Series starting to ramp up. There's tournament games going on. So I just kept playing. I survived for an hour, and then when I get done, I go check the scoreboard, and his record was 3 minutes. I obliterated his record by 57 minutes.
Oh Jesus! You're just out there, just like building your own fucking camp and stuff. Like, I'm going to survive. You're the kid in the Hunger Games that just didn't kill anyone. You just outlived him by old age. Just natural causes.
So yeah, those 3 games. The only other exciting thing this week is I got a new fan.
Oh, nice.
And it's remote controlled.
Ooh.
I don't really need this remote control because it's right there.
Yeah.
But I got it.
I have a remote controlled fan pointed at my bed, which is nice because I just lay down and pop it.
That's nice. Yeah, this would be nice in my bedroom because I have my lights controlled by Alexa.
Oh, nice.
And then I can have my remote right there on the side of my bed, and I can... Oh, man, I won't have to get up for days.
Oh, yeah. We're just going to find you just, like, slopped into your bed, just wheel a mic in here. I'll do the podcast from it here. I'll just shout.
I'm too comfy. Everyone come in here.
Can someone come in and feed me?
Yeah.
Like, chew it first, though.
Yeah, bird it into my mouth. I wish I had an actual remote controlled fan where like I hit the button and they're like, "You're the best, Matt."
Yeah, a remote controlled hype man. Yeah. I really want. Man, now I can't even think of the word for my own goof that I'm trying to think of. A herald. There it is. I really want a herald. I want to. If I ever. I know I'll really have made it financially if I can hire somebody to just walk into a room. It's like, presenting Skyler. Like, maybe a trumpeter. That reminds me of a real almost sad conversation we were having at the bank where we were all talking. It was the age-old question of what you would do if you won the lottery. And my answer was like, I don't know, probably switch to buying name brand stuff at the store instead of the store brand. Like, that's how I know that I'm rich, is I'm not worried about like, oh, the Great Value mac and cheese. No, I'm getting Velveeta. I'm getting that Velveeta brand, baby. Like, that's when I know that I'm really top of the heap. But and then I started really thinking about my answer. I'm like, God, that's just... It's practical, but it's very, very sad. Yeah, other than that, one thing I do need a gripe about the pre-sequel is who the fuck cares? I hate prequel games. I hate them so much because, like, I already know. I know who's going to die. I know who's going to be a robot. I know who's going to fucking come back and be actually a villain the whole time. Like,
I usually hate prequels just because it's like, everything already ramped up so far, and to go back to a more quaint time is just seems weird.
Yeah.
Especially when the prequel has like technology that, okay, I fucking thought that was my computer. Someone's outside using a chainsaw. For a second there, I'm like, oh, it's gonna blow.
And speaking of fans,
But like when in the prequel, there's like better technology. It's
yeah,
like, where did they go? Or in like the Halo prequels, it's like, where did the brutes go? They're just fucking gone until the next game. And,
Yeah.
like it's just
sort of like in the Star Wars prequels, how like you had all like the Naboo ships that were like super well maintained and fancy looking, and then you look back at like the 1970s Star Wars, and it's like everything's kind of scrumbled together and scrap metal and whatnot.
yeah.
You can justify that it's been a while, maybe things have fallen into disrepair, and it's a rebel force, but like still, even the shit the Empire's using isn't like sleek aerodynamic metal blobs flying through the air.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I would say like probably one of the only prequels that I did really enjoy, and it's also Star Wars related, is Rogue One, because it was like a story that like I did know the ending of, but it was just kind of interesting seeing the characters involved. Like it was overall just like a fun thing to watch.
Yeah.
And I think anytime they come out with a prequel type scenario, it's just like you really need to hold my attention, because like if I already know what's happening in Act 3, Act 1 and 2 have to like really blow me away.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Skyler, let's go ahead and get into some gaming news.
All right.
Gaming news so great, you'll be coming back for more.
I need it!
This is gaming news.
So we are mid E3 during this podcast, so I don't have I have almost a full gaming news podcast set up, but there's also something we need to talk about at the end of the podcast, because
Are you and Mom getting a divorce? Are you and Andy getting a divorce?
Yes, we are.
Damn it!
But we'll talk about that at the end of the podcast, all right? I was going to tease
Now that's
that.
all I'm going to think about, Matt. God damn it!
So I've got an E3 schedule here. Given that these podcasts usually go out in like early evening, I'm going to skip some of these because they will have already happened by the time anyone listens to this.
Yeah.
So 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time will be the Bethesda press conference. 10 p.m. Eastern will be Devolver Digital. That's 7 p.m. Pacific. Tomorrow, Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, E3 VR Showcase. 10 a.m. will be the PC Gaming Show. 12 p.m. will be Limited Run Games. 1 p.m. will be Ubisoft's press conference. And 6 p.m. will be Square Enix Live.
I'm excited to see the Square Enix stuff and that VR stuff. It's such a, I don't know, poor kid living next to the rich kid scenario where like I don't have any sort of VR stuff, but like, man, it all looks so fun and cool.
After basically the E3's over, Nintendo has some more stuff. On Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Time will be a Nintendo Direct. Following the Direct will be Nintendo Treehouse. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's sort of their. I remember last year, I think it was, they showcased a lot of the stuff for the new Pokemon. At that point, it was Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee.
Wednesday, they have another Nintendo Treehouse. And Thursday, they have Nintendo Treehouse Indie Day.
Ooh. That's one thing that I really, really enjoy is Nintendo kind of connecting with the indie platforms, since they started in the Wii U and then now have really leaned into it with the Switch. But I think a lot of kind of fun, casual indie games, or even like the more challenging ones, really connect with the Nintendo audience. Like Shovel Knight, one of my favorite games. I've blabbed about
game.
it for so long, actually on this podcast. But I really thought that was just an absolute beautiful fit of having Shovel Knight accessible on the Switch, just because like the overlap between those gaming communities, or even people who hadn't heard of it and maybe were just Nintendo fans. Like it's such a good franchise, and then I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of crossover and room for growth with indie developers in Nintendo.
For sure. Google Stadia pricing, subscription details, and launch titles revealed.
I don't get it.
I mean, I get it. I just don't see a reason to want it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
The Stadia Pro subscription will cost $10 a month. You can also buy individual games.
Yeah, it's just, but why? Like, why? Are they going to have any, like, exclusives coming out?
It does not say here. Not yet. It won't launch till 2020. And if you have a 30 megabits per second download speed, you can play at 4K resolution, 60 FPS, 5.1 surround sound.
That's not too bad, but yeah.
At the lowest, 10 megabits, you can play at 720p.
Oof.
At launch, Google Stadia will only support Chromecast hardware connected to a TV set. Mobile and browser support will be rolled out later in 2020, with Google planning to expand the range of phones that can carry the Stadia service.
That's going to be weird. I've tried playing games that are, meant for console on a fucking phone, and like, I don't know, PUBG Mobile. It's it's a trash can fire. Mainly because I have these big meaty claws that I'm playing with, and like my thumbs cover up like
most of the screen.
Yeah, like 60% of the screen.
Yeah.
I know, they're trying to come up with like foldable phones and whatnot. But oh god, a crease when you fold it, who would have thought? And I think that can help mitigate some of it when you're essentially playing on a tablet that also folds into a phone. But yeah, it's right now mobile console games on a mobile platform are just like unbearable.
The official Stadia gamepad will retail for $70. Comes in black, white, and wasabi.
Spicy.
Stadia also supports a wide variety of pre-existing controllers.
It's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's a super fucking weird color scheme. Like black because it matches most of your electronics, white because it's sleek and stuff, and wasabi because you don't want it to match anything. You want it to be fucking weird looking.
The Founders Edition will cost $130. This edition will include Chromecast Ultra, one Stadia controller, a 3-month subscription to service, and a copy of sci-fi shooter Destiny 2: The Collection.
Great. Good. That's a great game to... Oh my god. I'm starting to hate that game. I had it. I even got it for free, and I was just like... After I beat it, I was like, who fucking cares, man?
Buyers will also receive the opportunity to bag their chosen username early. So I should get it early and just pick Matt.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I luckily my username that I usually have for everything, Landler656, is always available because it's absolute fucking gibberish.
The library of games coming to Google Stadia will include Doom. The new Doom, not the old.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, okay.
I mean, the old Doom will run on a toaster, so I'm sure it'll be there.
You get that to run on your smart fridge.
Yeah.
Or an old remix Tamagotchi.
I know for a fact, because I've seen it on a TI 8089 calculator.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Tom Clancy's The Division 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, we already mentioned Destiny 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and the recent Tomb Raider trilogy.
I'm excited for the new Baldur's Gate that's coming out. It's going to be really cool.
There will also be upcoming releases. It doesn't look like these will be at launch, but they were shown in a trailer montage. Mortal Kombat 11, Metro Exodus, Grid, Samurai Showdown, and Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Ooh, Youngblood. Yeah.
I saw somewhere, and I don't know if this is true, I just saw something like a terabyte every couple hours or something in data. Like, if you have a data cap, which a lot of people do nowadays, this thing could really kill your fucking data.
Yeah, I mean, even like the 2 or 3 games that I do have on my phone, I can't play unless I'm hooked up to Wi-Fi. And then I have to be that asshole who always like walks up to the bartender like, hey, what's the Wi-Fi password? Which is always kind of embarrassing. I really wish they'd like put it on the menus or the receipt or something. I think the receipt would be a pretty good thing because then I paid for something for that. Like that would make sense to me. But yeah, I always have to do that stupid interaction and feel like a giant fucking tool.
I just got to throw this out here.
Yeah.
I am so fucking sick of hearing chainsaws.
Yeah.
Not only just now, it's like they rolled up when we started the fucking podcast.
Yeah.
What are the goddamn odds? Second of all, they were out there all day yesterday. What more do they have to do? Yeah. How many
Just knock it
branches
out in
can
one.
you cut?
Yeah.
The tree's gonna die. It's gonna be one vertical branch.
Yeah. They're just gonna have one tree that they've got sanded and chainsawed down into just a pillar.
There is actually a dead branch hanging up over my car, kind of.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of want to be like, hey guys, can you do me a solid? Take out that branch before it falls on my car.
Yeah. Yeah, that was man, one thing I was not expecting when I was living in Florida was how much fucking detritus could hit my tree hit my car from trees during a hurricane. Because it was a fucking night. Like I evacuated for Hurricane Matthew, and I came here and I left my car in just like what I thought was a fairly open parking lot, next to the airport, and like I saw cars that were just totaled because whole trees had like tumbled into the goddamn parking lot and stuff, and like I guess I shouldn't complain because like it's just like my rain guards got cracked. Like someone's gonna have to like renew their entire fucking car buying experience, and I'm like, my rain things. But yeah, it was. I just remember like picking like whole, essentially just like kindling piles off of my fucking car because it's a nightmare anytime anything like that happens. But oh man, yeah, that is sonically unpleasing.
Yeah.
Those chainsaws.
It's really gonna ruin my post-podcast nap.
Yeah. Man, I did a lot today. I deserve it.
Yeah. I know, I always take a nap after the podcast. Yeah. Especially because we do it at 10:30 in the fucking morning on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is my least favorite time to do it.
Hey man, I mean I could push it later. We could do it at like 11. That'd be fine. 11:30.
We used to do it at noon, and then Tam got a job where he had to be somewhere at noon. And then like he didn't have that job super long. And yet we still do it at fucking 10:30.
Yeah. I mean, it really just opens up your whole afternoon.
Fuck my afternoon.
Yeah. Sunday afternoon, that's like your primo nap time, maybe chill out.
I want my Saturday night.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we should...
You know how many 4-hour hangovers, 4 hours of sleep hangovers I waltz in here after?
You know what? I'm going to call a podcast meeting. Tam and Andy they're not present, so they don't get a vote. Let's push it to 11. 11:30? Yeah.
Yeah, 11:30.
Yeah, we'll just let them know at about 10:28 when they're supposed to be here. Oh, yeah, it's going to be in about half an hour, an hour.
I miss the real old days where it was like 7 p.m. on a Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
So, like... I'm
down with the wooden mic
done.
stands.
Yeah, back when we had the wooden mic stands. Oh, this reminds me.
Yeah.
When this podcast started, I remember like it was like week 1 or 2, like
November of 2011, I think.
July, but yeah.
July? Was it? I thought we started in the fall.
No, it was July.
I don't know.
I got summoned for jury duty.
Oh, yeah?
And it all comes full circle as once again I have been summoned for jury duty.
Oh, no. So I'm going to need you to edit this part out. I don't think I'm ever going to be summoned for jury duty. Because they asked me 3 times while I was active duty military, and I think I'm just like red listed or blacklisted from that just because I said no so many times. And I think I just might not ever be summoned for that. Erica's been called twice.
This is my 3rd time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a tax-paying citizen of the United States of America. Defended her freedom, and my reward is no jury duty and the GI Bill and some medical benefits. But no jury duty. That's the big one.
It really ruined my Friday.
Yeah.
It was Friday when it came in. And
beans.
I had a pretty productive day. I just come back from a nice walk out in nature. I come back and I get handed this thing. It's like, hey, you got jury duty. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, jeez. So like, yeah, I've never experienced that. I don't know what's going on. Erica actually sat in on like pretty disturbing case. Yeah, which is it's not at all funny or anything, so I probably won't bring up any of the gory details. But like, she was just like, come home. This is when I was still in the military, and she would like call me, and she was just like getting very emotional over the phone, and I'm like, man, that sucks. I guess I'm never going to be called for jury duty though, so I mean, I'll never have to deal with this. I didn't say that because I'm supposed to be a good spouse, but like, yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, speaking of July. At some point in July, I don't know the date. I think somewhere in the middle of July, I will have been doing this goddamn podcast business for 10 years.
Yeah.
We started our very first podcast, me, Andy, and Tom.
Oh, yeah. Power Up Podcast.
2009.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually Three Way of Awesome.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah.
Power Up Podcast was following that. Yep. So.
Power Up Podcast was when I hopped on. I not like as a host, but I started listening. Yeah.
So chainsaws.
Yeah. Great.
Fallout 76 upcoming patch aims to drastically overhaul combat.
Oh boy.
Fallout 76 is ready to commemorate its 10th major patch since its mid-November launch last year.
God, who fucking cares? You dropped a turd in the toilet. Who cares?
This one is almost entirely combat related. See, they're not going to pull a Final Fantasy 14 because that's rare. Final Fantasy 14 came out and it blew. It sucked ass. And they were like, okay, we're going to take this down. We're going to make it better. Everyone's like, yeah, sure, okay. And then it came back out and it fucking ruled.
Like, or even just do a fucking, what was it, Assassin's Creed Unity or something? Or,
what did they do?
What was where they just totally scrapped it?
Oh, I don't know.
Because like all the faces were inverted and shit, and they're just like, this seems like a lot of work. Don't worry about it. Here's a coupon for a lot off on the next games.
I think that was Unity.
Was it Unity?
Yeah, I think it was Unity.
All right.
I think you're right.
But
you're not going to catch that magically fix the game lightning in a bottle twice.
Yeah.
All right. Final Fantasy 14 already took it.
Yeah.
The lightning's gone.
In other news, Enter the Gungeon had their new update.
I need to play more Enter the Gungeon.
Oh man, so like they added 2 new playable characters with their own kind of end boss style, like whatever. One's the Paradox. It's a totally random character where you start with one of the random starter guns from any of the other characters, then a random gun from the whole, armory, and then you start with a random item, which could be a power-up, could be an active item, whatever like that. And so it's kind of a crapshoot, and then you have to beat the game with the Paradox, and then you start back at the beginning with the second character that you need to unlock, and you need to beat the game with him in order to unlock him. So you need to essentially do 2 playthroughs to get that last character. And I mean, in addition to that, they had like so many guns and items drop, and like they just did like some random bug fixes and whatnot, and like but yeah, it was called the Farewell to Arms update, which sounds ominous that maybe that was the last one, but Jesus Christ, this game's like 4 years old, I think, 3 or 4 years old, and like they're still dropping like hot, nice content, a hot, steamy log of content right on my chest. I love it. I love that fucking game.
So when it comes to the Fallout 76 update, there will be weapon changes as far as damage goes. They will be adding some reticle to the heavy weapons. You can now holster cancel by shooting as you're putting your weapon away, so you won't get caught with your pants down. Let's see. Quicker overall approach to combat in lieu of the VATS turn-based combat. Let's see. Bethesda also hints they will be announcing Fallout 76 related news during their E3 conference this Sunday in terms of content for the game, quote, through the rest of 2019. There are still 2 big free expansions to go. Wild Appalachia has launched already, with Nuclear Winter to come this summer and Wastelanders in the fall.
I mean, yeah, you're essentially just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
This game is already sunk, but I'm curious to see if they implement any sort of a kind of pay-to-win, stupid freemium shop whatnots like they have in 76 in the upcoming Elder Scrolls, if that ever comes out. Because, like, with Fallout 76, like you can imagine a store and buying shit and like that. It all sort of makes sense thematically, but you can't just have like a fucking, I mean, maybe like a wandering salesman, like, come in, stranger, look at my strange goods. And like you have to pay real world money for a cool bow.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Rocket League has a summer's worth of limited time events planned. Now that they are owned by Epic Games, Rocket League is leaning into one of the things Fortnite does best: limited time modes.
Oh, yeah.
A trio of limited time modes span the summer with enough 80s flair to make a blush.
Yeah, it's Rocket League's another one that's like I thought it died down just because I hadn't heard much of it while I was in the military, but that was mainly just because like I was unplugged from the zeitgeist. But that thing's been chugging along. Mm-hmm. That thing's been out for 7 years.
Ooh, I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's definitely been chugging right along. It's still relevant, still super fun to watch and play. Mm-hmm. Like it's just that last year. They were having like a huge tournament that was being streamed through Twitch, and like I was watching it at work, and then like I was so entertained that I was just not doing my job. I was just like glued to the screen watching these insane stunts.
Starting on June 10th, Rocket League shines a spotlight on 80s movies with a Ghostbusters theme event. The Ghost Hunt mode has players firing proton beams to carry the ball to the opponent's containment zone. There's also some premium DLC. The $2 packs add the Ghostbusters Ecto-1 car, a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man goal explosion, along with some other cosmetics.
I think I already have the Ghostbusters car. I think I might have bought that during one of the seasonal things.
Yeah. On July 1st, things switched to 80s culture, which isn't really elaborated upon. However, the limited time edition outfits every car with a permanent set of spikes from the Rumble mode. This idea is to skewer the ball and carry it to the goal. However, defenders are going to aggressively try knocking the ball off the spikes or blowing the ball carrier up. Finally, on July 22nd, there's a focus to 80s television. This is highlighted by a premium DLC pack that includes the Knight Rider car. The new mode is modeled after beach volleyball. This 2-on-2 game has the players playing regular Rocket League, but with beach balls. Low gravity and curved physics will keep it feeling like a normal game.
Nice. I'm always appreciating, like, and Overwatch is doing this too with like all their wacky workshop shit that everyone's been doing, where they're able to maintain sort of like a fresh new way of playing a game that like maybe you've gotten bored of, or maybe you're just like running through the same game over and over again.
Halo Forge was really good at that. The Forge mode in 3 and Reach. Mm-hmm. It was really nice because they would eventually do like events for like, okay, here's the best community maps, like play these, and it was crazy good.
Yeah, like anytime they kind of lean into the, I don't know, kind of the anti like cliche part of their game, where they're like breaking new ground and doing something totally different, or even just like opening that up for fans to create content. Like, it's always really, really cool to see all that shit.
Yeah. Yep. Pokemon Sword and Shield arrives on Switch on November 15th with 4-player raids.
I'm so excited.
In the debut trailer, main trainers wander around vast open countrysides and witness roaming Pokemon. Giant Pokemon are a thing. It's called Dynamaxing, as well as an important mechanic that will impact battles. Gyms are still a huge thing, even bigger in this new Galar region, actually, as they're televised and more like the anime's versions of the championships. Mm-hmm. The flourish of these battles will play out thanks to the boisterous persona of Leon, the current champion and brother of your rival, Hop.
Oh, what a douche. That guy, that's one thing I very much hate, is that they didn't let you choose the names. I think they've stopped that since like maybe 2 generations ago. Mm-hmm. You didn't get to name your fucking rival butt farts or anything. But yeah, I'm super excited. I think a lot of Pokemon fans kind of fell out of Pokemon Let's Go so very quickly because the mechanics were so strange and not Pokemon at all. And I like to view it as kind of a stepping stone that for the flagship Pokemon games to kind of take a step in a new direction, which I'm really excited that they're, utilizing some of those aspects into a new actual Pokemon game.
Yeah. This time, Professor Magnolia and her assistant Sonia are your helpers this time.
Is she hot? I haven't seen any pictures yet.
Don't know. Let me...
I don't see through that lens. I can't objectify.
I can't imagine she was like... I mean, it's a video game. They're not going to make her...
Yeah, but the Pokemon professors have, like... It's been a very steep curve of them getting more and more hot and less, like, old men sending young children out into the wild.
Professor Magnolia is an old lady.
Oh, a little step backwards into the old style.
Old lady with the cane.
Nice.
However, her assistant, Sonia, there's going to be a lot of Rule 34 of her.
Oh, yeah. Grass-type Pokemon, tentacles, and whatnot.
Speaking of grass-type Pokemon, grass expert Milo is the first gym leader.
Nice. So pick your fire types now, kids.
Yeah.
That little fire rabbit's going to be top pick. No, I'm still going with that grass type. That's just how I roll.
Yeah. Pokemon Sword and Shield, they got some newly revealed Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Looks like we can count 7, including both legendaries right now that have been revealed. We got Grookey, the chimp Pokemon. Mm-hmm. That's the grass type starter.
Yeah. I'm excited.
We've got Scorbunny, the rabbit Pokemon.
Yeah, that little fire bunny.
That is your fire buddy.
And you get that little chameleon frog guy.
Yeah, Sobble, the water lizard Pokemon.
Yeah. They look adorable.
They do.
I was showing Erica like the first like teaser trailer that they had last year, and she's never really gotten into the Pokemon games themselves, just because the collectathon aspect of it has never like really appealed to her. But man, does she love just seeing those cute little guys fight to the death. She just
We also have Gossifleur, the flowering Pokemon. Mm-hmm. We have Eldegoss, the cotton bloom Pokemon. We have Wolo, the sheep Pokemon.
Yes.
I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Wolo. We've got Corviknight, the raven Pokemon.
Ooh.
Looks cool as hell.
Oh, yeah.
This also looks cool as hell. The bite Pokemon, Dreadnought.
I think there's been... I mean, I'm pulling my nerd card out pretty hard here. I think there's been 6 bite Pokemon so far. Like bite the bite Pokemon. But
this looks like it's a water rock, but it almost looks like a machine turtle.
Oh yeah,
machine snapping turtle.
Mm-hmm.
Should be like water steel or something like that, just by how it looks. And then I'm not sure how to pronounce the legendary Pokemon. We got Zacian or Zacian.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the legendary wolf with a sword in its mouth. Yep.
It makes me think of, seeing it, it made me think of the water starter for Gen 5, whose name I can't... Samurott, which was like a four-legged dog thing that I guess had a sword on its front foreleg, and it could pull it out with the other foreleg.
And the shield version of this is Zamazenta.
It's like some weird lion thing, right?
I believe it's supposed to still be a wolf, but the way the shield is looks like a mane.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very, very interested to see this whole like open world 3D exploration type of thing. I think that's something that people in the Pokemon world have like really, really wanted for a long time, instead of just walking on rails.
Yeah, for sure.
So...
okay, so that'll do it for gaming news, and we got to talk about the thing I teased.
Oh yeah,
in the podcast,
the divorce.
So it's technology news. So let's play the thing. Okay, I can't wait.
Okay,
there is no fucking reason, no reason at all, not even for like the most enterprise video editor out there, that you need a $6,000 Mac Pro.
Oh, yeah.
There is no fucking reason to buy a $6,000 Mac Pro. Especially with its fucking proprietary video card. You're never going to be able to swap it out. You're going to have to buy it from Apple. We'll probably sell it to you for $3-4 grand.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking cheese grater. It has a monitor stand that's $1,000.
$1,000.
$1,000.
For a piece of plastic.
You know how much I paid for this fucking thing?
How much you pay for that monitor stand?
$35.
There you go. Yeah, it's ostensibly it's just a piece of plastic. It's just a thing that you set the monitor on.
Now, to Apple's credit, it's probably like aluminum.
Yeah.
But that's not $1,000.
Yeah, definitely. Probably takes less than $1, maybe less than $2 to make.
Oh, God.
And they're
just
turning so much profit on that.
Now, another credit to Apple, it can hold 2 monitors.
Great.
2.
Nice. Yeah, I can definitely see me just, if I were to purchase this ridiculous, stupid machine, just kind of lean it against the wall. It's like, this is my lean against the wall computer monitor. Like, it's such a great... Did you see the video of the announcement?
No.
Oh, man. The crowd, when they announced the pricing for the monitor stand and everything, like, there was, like, very much an audible just, like, gasp and laughter at, like, how ridiculous and shitty it was. And the dude who was announcing it, like, started stuttering over his next statement and then just bolted. Just got right the fuck off stage. Like, anyway, here's that other guy. Bye. Like, he just dipped because he knew, like, this isn't good. Like, it felt like a magician that had tried to pull the tablecloth underneath everything and fucking fucked it all up and then ran with the tablecloth and moved to the next state.
Now, the innards to this machine, I guess they're really trying to justify this $6,000 price tag. 1.5 terabytes of RAM, or the ability to run 1.5 terabytes of RAM. Who the fuck needs that?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. How many crises could you run on that?
Oh, probably about 1 billion. But you could probably make your own computer, or build your own computer that could run 1 billion crises.
Yeah, have its own sub-operating system, and then another one off of that, and then run Crysis off of that. Yeah.
So, I had to get that off my chest.
Yeah, it's been blowing up in the news just because, like, how ridiculous it's even though it's just the stand that's really been blowing up. It's just like $1,000 because I guess nobody really gives a shit that the actual thing is $6,000.
Yeah,
but like $1,000 for a fucking stand is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. Oh man. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/3HitCombo Podcast. Find us on Twitter, 3Hit Combo PC. Search for us on YouTube, 3Hit Combo Podcast, and please send us your nudes. We will defend them. 3hitcombopodcast@gmail.com.
I'm Skyler, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off for Andy and Tam, who are not here, but they are with us in spirit. Mm-hmm. And then Matt, you can sign yourself off.
All right. Goodbye.